he's using those spears to stop walkers too. You just put them in front of rocks, they just walk into it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually spearing things, but he could use the spear stuff, I guess.
Well, he's ready to start killing.
Anyway.
So we got off a bit of a tangent there.
A bit.
And we are no better for resolution. We're both stuck on our...
We're season 7 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So where are we here? Morgan buries Richard after telling everybody exactly what Richard's plan was.
Somehow he did.
Drags his body there, chops him up, puts him in a little hole.
How does Ezekiel just be like, you can't stay here by yourself. Come with us. I'm like, really? He just killed your general.
Yeah, this is a good thing to let him go. I would kill him. Like, you're going to let this go under your reign?
How are you going to explain back to everybody? Oh, yeah, Richard is no longer with us because Morgan strangled him for apparently a reason that he said that we have no proof on.
Yeah, and a reason that he said, he wanted everyone to see what a danger the saviors were.
But he's more dangerous than the saviors.
He proved his point.
And you're really sure that he's not going after saviors and he's really not going after saviors and he's going after
such
walkers?
A jump for his character, and we saw him have memories of Clear, and then he was talking about how he's got to go out and kill them all, just like he would talk about going out and killing all. But
when he said
walkers.
them, he's referring to walkers the whole time, not saviors.
Walkers, like he got real into it.
Really, walkers.
We even saw him on his way back to
Carol's.
He was just killing tons of walkers. Like he was getting real into it, and he's like, "This is the Morgan that I can be. Is the Morgan that kills walkers and doesn't really affect anybody."
But he's always killed walkers, even if he didn't.
Well, he kind of wouldn't. He would just
he would hit him in the head with the stick. No,
but he wouldn't do it unless he had to. Like he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't go out of his way.
No, Matthew.
Listen.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt. He would kill them when they were in the way. Like if he had to get somewhere, he would kill them. He would what he was doing when he was crazy, Morgan, is he was setting up traps to catch all these guys. He was putting up spears. He would go out, kill as many as he could, burn them, go back home. That was his day. He would clear. He's like, I got to clear. Right. He wasn't clearing when he became a little more sane. He was just trying to be passive.
But he wasn't just clearing walkers. He would kill people too. Because remember his first flashback when he was killing people too. It wasn't just walkers. It was people.
Yeah, it was anybody.
It was anybody, anything. Yeah,
anything that moved. It was all
pretty much news. Yeah, you have to make sure that was clear. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I just find it weird that when he was in front of them, is just the saviors and not it was the walkers and not the saviors. I feel like the saviors are the ones that
no, because that would go against everything. Because it would.
He's
telling Carol, and he knows Carol's going to want to go and fight. So she does. She goes back to the kingdom, but he's not going to say, they're going to war, and I'm going to go out, and I'm not going to be a part of this war, but I'm just going to go and kill saviors.
But in the context of him saying, do you want to know what happened in Alexandria? So it's like if he's trying to motivate her to go to war with the saviors, I figured after he says them, it's like he's going to go try to kill as many saviors as he can because that's what contributes to what he was talking about with Carol and not walkers. Because the walkers have been irrelevant.
They have been, but not to
completely
him.
Irrelevant.
That's why they had that whole montage of him killing them. But
I want to bring up something at the end of the recap, though. Are we at the end? Just want to.
We're pretty much there. Morgan buries Richard, like I said. Tells Carol about Glenn, Abraham, Spencer, Olivia. And then he's gonna go out, but then Carol says you can go and not go.
Quotes Ezekiel.
The curse is passed on to him.
Yeah.
And so he stays at the house while she goes back to the kingdom. She goes over to Ezekiel, who's gardening with Ben's little brother. Carol is down to fight. Ezekiel says he agrees that they need to fight, but not today, and they start gardening. And then we end with Morgan and the spear.
Right.
So that's it. That's the end of the episode. You had something you wanted to say.
Yeah. Talking about how walkers are no longer relevant. Can you name me the last time someone died at the hands at the death of a walker, by a walker biting them or being mauled to death by a walker? I'm gonna have to guess.
Not in the last couple episodes, but probably this season.
No, I would say Diana. Can you think of anything this season? Think about it. Under Negan's reign, has anybody died at the hands of a walker? And the only person I can think of is Diana. Not even Deanna. It was Rick's love interest and her family.
Yeah, they were the last ones.
Or was it Glenn's scouting partner. It was along those episodes.
Yeah.
Or the last time that people died people have died at the hands of the walkers. And I just feel like I want to bring this up, maybe in the finale when we have an overall standing of the series so far, is that the walkers are, I know it's supposed to evolve to this, and for every structure of every zombie narrative, zombies are no longer the antagonist. They're not the danger. It's the humans themselves. It's the humans, and that's a reoccurring theme over and over again. But when you have a television series just for this, like you have to have some, like, these things are got to be antagonized somehow. These things are walking twigs now. They're not even intimidating anymore. Nothing's scary anymore.
Yeah, if you're trying to keep it a long running series, and you want to try to make them scary again.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now they're not relevant. Because it looks like they're approaching an end, and apparently they're trying to sign for more seasons. And I'm thinking, well,
it's hard though, because you have to make the survivors learn. They have to get better at killing walkers to the point where they are really self-sufficient. They can survive no problem killing walkers, because that would be believable after 7 years. Yeah, you're pretty good at killing walkers, and they're not as much of a threat. But how do you make them scary again?
Yeah, exactly. But you got to have something to make them regress back in a way. Have them get scared of them again.
And that's what they did with the Resident Evil films. They made them into super walkers. They were like monsters. That's what you got to do in this show. I
can finally get on board Resident Evil for making these things scary again, just for that reason. I mean, it's just it's. I find it quite pathetic right now. Because I know Negan's supposed to be the villain, and even Negan as a villain right now is not scary to me.
Yeah.
It's not, like, everything here has been, you know what, if we have to think about what we wanted so much for the beginning of this season, and for what we wanted, this show did not deliver at all. I thought Negan was going to be the next, Joker villain, the next villain, best villain next to the Joker, and doesn't even come close to anything. Like Negan's not even about, he's not going to be about anarchy as the Joker was. But even just like some sort of dictatorship, some sort of tyrannical, facade or something, he has it a bit, but it's still.
They built him up a lot, though.
They did.
What about it? What if he wasn't built up and you didn't know anything about Negan?
Yeah, and we had those shots like we were talking about last week when they're beating on Dwight at the beginning of an episode when they found out Daryl was gone, and he just has that that shot behind his head with Lucille hanging on his on his shoulder. Yeah. That would have been perfect. It's Negan, and you just hearing his voice outside a door. It's like, oh, Negan. It's like, oh, it's becoming there's more suspense to his character. But okay, he shows up at the beginning of the season, makes that impression that scarred us all, and then and
just kind of stagnated.
Yeah, he just got annoying. If anything, oh man, Negan's back.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if the show doesn't ruin the rest of this story arc, there's some pretty good Negan moments, like some pretty good story left to tell. I just don't know if it's gonna pay off, if they're gonna be able to pull it off,
Right? Yeah, I don't know either. I'm thinking about villain. Let's say the counterpart to AMC was Breaking Bad. The way they did their villains, it was like you had in every facade of different facade of villains. Coming about. You had Tuco, who's like this physical force, this brute basically that they had to overcome. Yeah. Gus Fring, who was smarter, the equivalent to Walt. Then you had this gang of neo-Nazis that were just in numbers were hard to overcome. But you had every angle of these things.
Yeah, definitely easier to do, because that shows more grounded in reality. It's.
But even at that, I mean,
at this point, what can you do? You can't.
Is The Walking Dead not reality just with walkers? So yeah, okay, that's
it is, but
it's not what they're trying to show. It's not Z Nation.
But you don't have a lot that you can do with it, because you either have the walkers be scary or you have somebody be scarier than the walkers.
Well, why is it either or? Why is it not all?
Because if the walkers are still scary after 7 years, then the survivors shouldn't still be alive.
I feel like but I feel like if they start traveling up north, the walkers should be a lot scarier. So you just come to Canada, just come to where we are.
They'll be frozen.
Not frozen, they'd be cold but preserved, and then when the season comes they start walking again.
Yeah.
And they're not decomposing, they're going to be a lot more, I don't know.
They could do that, but they haven't really wanted to show snow in The Walking Dead.
No, imagine dead snow. Don't you have a bit of that revitalizing a little bit? Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. there'll be more to talk about, I guess, by the end of the series. Things that I would like to bring up. But yeah.
It's
I'll go on
series.
an episode count to see how much further they'll go without killing somebody because of the walkers.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anyone, so.
Yeah, I think it was
there.
I think it was since then, since that outbreak since that herd in Alexandria, nobody has died since.
Oh, I mean, what's her name? The Dwight's ex-wife's sister.
I suppose off screen. Yeah.
No, she died, and we saw it happen.
Oh,
I'm just trying to remember when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Under like that. Melted,
that's still around the same time. Daryl was out and about, so that's still around that time.
Yeah.
So whether we stretch it thin, say who was it exactly, but still that's still a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just anyway. So
we'll figure it out.
So we're excited to announce that we're gonna have a special guest.
Yes.
He is known by JK of the Horror Happens radio show, and he will discuss what he thinks about The Walking Dead at the finale and our finale as well.
Yeah, finale of the season. You've met Jay before.
Yes, I have.
Not had the pleasure to speak with him, so it's going to be
It'll be electric. I don't know if that's what you're building.
I don't know if I should speak with him beforehand or if we should just be a new experience all around.
That's true. I guess we'll see it on the weeks to come since they barely announced the finale, but I guess we looked it up. It was like the 2nd of April, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
It's going to
be the first Sunday, which. Is that Easter Sunday?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it has to be. Is it the first Sunday? Yeah, it can be.
I don't know.
It's resurrection. So, if the walkers had a factor in any of this, resurrection's not a big deal to The Walking Dead.
No. So, but it is exciting. I thank you for setting that up, David, and we'll try to set it up on our end. We've never done a Skype show.
No, that's true. We're in for a hell of a show if all goes well.
Yeah, a lot of technical aspects to figure out, but we got a few weeks to do it, so we'll manage.
We'll buckle down and do it.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for today.
Yeah, pretty dead on the feedback still, huh?
Yeah.
It's okay.
We'll get some. But if you would like to send in your comments, feedback, speculations, you want to tell how much you hate Morgan, how much you hate Rosita, or maybe you're one of the crazy people who love him, send it in.
We'll address you as crazy, though.
Yeah, definitely. You've already got that prefix on your name.
Huge stigma.
So write us at thecastingdead @gmail.com. THECASTINGDEAD @gmail.com. For those people who need it spelled out for them. And thanks again to Daryl Banner, who does our intro music, our outro music, and it's the same music, David. I don't know if you listen.
Crazy.
Yeah. And that's all I got to say. You got anything to say?
I'm good. See you next week.
Yeah. Take care.